My brother, my sister, life is a journey of seasons. There is a time to laugh, and there is a time to cry. There is a time to build, and a time to be broken. But hear me, when life knocks you down, that is not the end of your story. When everything you built comes crashing down, that is not the end of your purpose. The same God who allowed the storm is the same God who will use that storm to lift you higher. You are not finished. You are being prepared. You are being shaped. You are being refined. You will rise again. Say to yourself, I will rise again. You see, many of us have walked through pain that words cannot describe. People have betrayed you, dreams have died, health has failed. The doors you trusted have closed. You cried when no one was watching. You smiled when your heart was bleeding. You felt forgotten. You asked yourself, God, why me? But I tell you, your pain is not a waste. Your tears are not in vain. The God who sees in secret will reward you in the open. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is a messenger. It comes to teach. It comes to purify. It comes to push you into the next dimension of your destiny. Many times, God allows pain not to destroy us, but to reveal what was hidden inside of us. Gold cannot shine until it passes through fire. Oil cannot flow until the olive is crushed. Diamonds are formed under pressure. You are not broken, you are being built. Say it with me, I am not broken, I am being built. You see, when you are going through something painful, your mind begins to lie to you. It tells you that you are finished. It tells you that you are not good enough. It tells you that nothing will ever change. That is the voice of defeat. But there is another voice, the voice of truth, that says, this is not the end. This is the beginning of something greater. The voice of truth says, your setback is a setup for your comeback. My brother, my sister, don't let your situation define you. Don't let your past limit you. You may have fallen, but you are not finished. You may have failed, but you are not forgotten. You may have cried, but you are not crushed. The very place where you were wounded can become the place where your strength is revealed. You see, when God wants to use a man, he allows that man to pass through pain. Look at every great story. There was always a breaking before the blessing. Joseph was betrayed before he was promoted. David was hunted before he was crowned. Job was tested before he was restored. Even our Lord faced the cross before the crown. Pain is the path to power. The pit is the path to the palace. The valley is the road to the mountain. So when life breaks you, don't curse it. Embrace it. The breaking is the making. The crushing is the calling. The shaking is the shaping. It is not punishment, it is preparation. Sometimes you must lose something to discover who you really are. Sometimes God closes every door so that you can learn that He alone is the door. When everyone walks away, it is not rejection, it is redirection. When the world says, You are finished. Heaven says, you are ready. Some of you listening to me right now, you have been through betrayal that almost killed your spirit. People you trusted turned their backs on you. You helped them when they were down, but when your storm came, they disappeared. You have been hurt, not by strangers, but by those you loved. I know that pain. I know that wound. But hear me. The one who betrayed you was part of your journey. Without Judas, there would be no resurrection. Without rejection, you would never find your true direction. When you face pain, don't run from it. Don't hide from it. Let it refine you. Let it purify your motives. Let it draw you closer to God. Because pain can either make you bitter or make you better. The choice is yours. Tell your neighbor, my pain will make me better, not bitter. When you go through pain with the right heart, it becomes the womb of greatness. Out of your pain can come compassion. Out of your rejection can come revelation. Out of your struggle can come strength. What tried to destroy, you can become the very thing that builds you. You see, power is not found on the mountaintop, it is forged in the valley. Power is not born in comfort, it is born in crisis. You learn who you really are when there is nothing left but faith. You learn how to pray when you have no one to call. You learn to trust when everything else has failed. That is where power begins. When people look at you and see your pain, they may think it is over. But what they don't see is what God is doing behind the scenes. When the seed is buried, it looks dead. But what people call burial, God calls planting. And soon, that seed begins to rise again. Say to yourself, I may be buried, but I am planted. Listen to me, your pain has purpose. Every disappointment, every delay, every heartbreak has been permitted for your elevation. God never wastes pain. He uses it to grow you, to teach you, to shape your destiny. The same tears that broke you will water your next season. The same fire that burned you will purify your faith. Sometimes God allows you to fall so that you can learn how to rise. Because you can never appreciate the power of rising until you have tasted the pain of falling. Don't despise your struggle. Don't curse your night. Without the night, you would never value the dawn. Without the storm, you would never know the power of peace. Hear me. What you are facing right now is not meant to kill you. It is meant to reveal you. The pain is proof that something new is being born. Every birth comes with labor. Every calling comes with crushing. Every new level comes with a new test. That is the law of the Spirit. When you are being tested, stay faithful. Don't complain. Don't run away. Don't give up. Because your attitude in the valley determines your altitude on the mountain. When you respond with faith instead of fear, heaven takes notice. Maybe right now you are in the midnight hour of your life. Everything looks dark and you cannot see the light. But remember, Midnight is not the end of the day, it is the beginning of a new one. The fact that it is dark does not mean the sun will not rise. The fact that it hurts does not mean it is over. The darkest hour comes just before dawn. You will rise again. No matter what you have lost, there is restoration waiting for you. You may have lost your peace, your health, your dreams, but the hand of God is still on you. The grace that kept you through the fire will lift you after the fire. The same God who allowed the storm will speak to the storm and say, "Peace, be still." Sometimes the miracle is not that the storm ends, but that you can stand in the storm and still praise God. That is true power, to worship when you don't understand, to believe when you cannot see, to forgive when you have been broken, to smile when you feel pain. That is where heaven begins to move. Don't wait for the pain to stop before you rise. Rise while it still hurts. Rise while the tears are still falling. Rise while the people are still mocking you. Because rising is an act of faith. It is a declaration that says, "My pain will not define me, my purpose will." When you rise again, you rise with wisdom. You rise with compassion. You rise with strength. You rise with testimony. The same people who laughed at you will watch you shine. The same ones who said you could not make it will witness your transformation. You are not who you used to be. The pain changed you. The fire purified you. The tears taught you how to pray. The waiting taught you how to trust. You have become stronger, deeper, wiser. That is the beauty of pain. It reveals the power hidden inside you. My brother, my sister, the power you seek is already within you. You don't need to search for it outside. It is in your scars. It is in your story. It is in your survival. The fact that you are still standing after everything you went through is proof that grace is real. Some of you should not even be here right now. The depression tried to drown you. The betrayal tried to break you. The sickness tried to stop you. But look at you. You are still here. You are still breathing. You are still standing. That is not luck. That is power. That is grace. That is purpose. Don't waste your pain, use it. Use it to lift others. Use it to heal others. Use it to build something greater. Because true healing is not when the wound disappears. It's when the wound becomes a source of strength for someone else. When people see your scars, let them see your story. Let them see that pain did not destroy you, it transformed you. The same fire that tried to consume you made you a light for others. The same valley that broke you gave you the voice to lift others who are still down. That is what it means, turn pain into power. Remember, resurrection only comes after crucifixion. Without death, there is no rising. Without the cross, there is no crown. If you are in a place of breaking, don't be afraid. It means resurrection is near. You will rise again, not in your old form, not in your old strength, but in divine power, you will rise wiser, you will rise stronger, you will rise with new fire. And when you rise, nothing will stop you again, because pain has already taught you how to stand. Every champion has a scar. Every warrior has a wound. Every overcomer has a story. Don't be ashamed of yours. Your story is your weapon. Your testimony is your authority. Speak from your pain, and you will touch hearts that no title can reach. When people ask you, how did you survive? Tell them, grace. When they ask, how did you rise again? Tell them, God turned my pain into power. Listen to me. The next time life knocks you down, don't cry like a victim. Smile like a victor. Say, I've been here before, and I know who my God is. You are not the same person who fell last time. You have learned, you have grown, you have been strengthened. Even if you fall 7 times, rise 8. Because it is not about how hard you fall. It is about how strong you rise. Falling does not make you a failure. Refusing to rise does. You may have walked through the fire, but you are coming out without the smell of smoke. You may have walked through the valley of the shadow of death, but you are coming out with a shout of victory. You may have lost everything, but you have not lost your faith. And that is enough. The stone that was rolled to seal your destiny will be rolled away. The chains that held you will break. The voices that mocked you will be silenced. Because when God says rise, nothing in heaven or on earth can hold you down. You will rise from the pain. You will rise from the ashes. You will rise from the rejection. You will rise from the mistakes. You will rise from the depression. You will rise from the loss. You will rise from the fear. Because inside you, there is power that pain cannot destroy. Stand tall, my brother. Lift your head, my sister. You have cried enough. You have doubted enough. You have mourned enough. Now it is time to rise. Rise with power. Rise with purpose. Rise with faith. Your story is not ending. It is just beginning. Your pain was not punishment. It was preparation. And your rise will not be quiet. It will be glorious. So wherever you are, lift your hand and declare, I will rise again. My pain will become my power. My story will become my strength. My tears will become my testimony. And as you say it, believe it, because heaven has heard you. Your rising begins now. My brother, my sister, listen to me. Your story is not over. You may think the chapter has closed, but the author has not stopped writing. The ink of heaven has not dried on your destiny. What you call an ending, God calls a pause. What you see as final, God sees as a transition. There are pages still unwritten, moments still unfolding, promises still alive. You may have fallen, you may have failed, but the hand that began your story will not abandon the pen. The same hand that lifted you before will lift you again. Sometimes life pushes you into a corner where you cannot see a way forward. Everything looks lost. Every door seems closed, and the silence of heaven feels unbearable. You look at your life and say, is this how it ends? But I tell you, this is not the end. The same God who allowed the wilderness will lead you through it. The same God who watched you enter the valley is preparing the mountain on the other side. You see, the greatest stories are not the ones that go smoothly. They are the ones that go through fire and still emerge shining. When the author of your story is divine, every delay has purpose, every detour has meaning, and every disappointment is a setup for revelation. There are parts of your story that can only be written in pain, chapters that can only be formed in silence, and breakthroughs that can only be birthed in tears. That is why you must not give up when it looks like nothing is happening. Heaven is still working behind the scenes. When God is writing your resurrection, He allows some pages to go blank for a while. You wonder why nothing moves, why prayers seem unanswered, why people forget you. It is because God is building suspense for your comeback. He is preparing a testimony so powerful that even your enemies will have no words. Every great story has a twist, and your twist is coming. My brother, my sister, don't judge your story by the middle of the book. The middle is messy, confusing, and painful, but it is not the end. The middle is where faith is tested, character is shaped, and destiny is proven. The middle is where the writer forms the message that will shake nations. You may be in the middle right now, but wait. Your resurrection chapter is being written. There are people who looked at your pain and thought they had seen your end. They laughed. They mocked. They said you would never rise again. They judged your story too soon. But what they didn't know is that your author never writes tragedies without turning them into triumphs. The pen of God never stops at failure. It turns failure into foundation, sorrow into strength, and tears into testimony. You see, resurrection does not happen on the first page. Resurrection happens after burial. There must be a cross before there is a crown. There must be silence before there is sound. When everything seems dead, that is when heaven begins to move. The tomb is not your destination, it is your preparation. The stone that sealed your past will become the evidence of your rising. Some of you here have been buried in situations that feel permanent. Buried under shame, buried under loss, buried under regret. You have accepted the lie that it is over. But hear me, your burial is not your finish line. You are a seed, and seeds must go into the ground before they rise in new life. The darkness around you is not death. It is the womb of resurrection. When God is writing your resurrection, He often allows silence to fall. It seems like heaven has gone quiet. You pray, you cry, you wait, and nothing moves. But silence is not absence. Silence is strategy. God is not ignoring you. He is composing something greater. He is rearranging scenes, aligning people, shifting seasons. While you wait, the author is rewriting your future with precision. Do you remember Joseph? His story looked over when his brothers sold him. It looked over when he was thrown into the pit. It looked over when he was forgotten in prison. But God was still writing. Every betrayal was a paragraph, every delay a sentence, every tear an ink stroke in the masterpiece of destiny. When the time was right, the page turned and the slave became a ruler. Your story is no different. The same God who lifted Joseph will lift you. The same God who called Lazarus from the tomb will call you from the place of your pain. When men have written you off, heaven is still writing you in. You are not finished. The pen of grace is still moving. Sometimes we mistake a comma for a full stop. We think the pause is the end, but God uses pauses to build power. The waiting season is not wasted. It is where God strengthens your faith, refines your motives, and prepares your heart for the promise. If you rush the process, you lose the purpose. But if you trust the process, you will see glory rise from ashes. There are pages in your life that had to be torn so that new ones could be written. People had to leave. Doors had to close. Opportunities had to end. It was not rejection. It was redirection. The author knew what the next chapter required. You thought it was over, but heaven knew it was only the turning of a page. Some of you have been reading the wrong chapter for too long. You keep rereading your pain, replaying your failures, revisiting your wounds. But the author has already moved on. He is writing new joy, new beginnings, new restoration. Stop dwelling on the old chapter. Step into the new one being written. When the world reads your story, they will see power, but you will know the pain behind it. They will see your strength, but you will remember the nights you cried. They will see your faith, but you will remember the moments you almost gave up. That is the beauty of resurrection. It turns secret suffering into public strength. You may feel forgotten now, but you are not forgotten. The author does not forget his characters. He refines them. Every time you were overlooked, every time you were misunderstood, every time you were broken, it was the author shaping your heart for the next chapter. There is a reason your story could not end where others ended. There is a reason you are still here when others gave up. There is a reason your pain did not destroy you. You are chosen for something greater. The hand of God has not released your name from his script. Some of you thought your story ended when that relationship failed, when that business collapsed, when that diagnosis came, when that loved one died. You thought your life lost its purpose, but hear me. The author specializes in resurrection. He writes from the graveyard. He builds from ruins. He calls beauty out of brokenness. When a sculptor looks at a stone, he does not see what is missing. He sees what is hidden inside. God looks at your life and sees what no one else can. While others see failure, he sees foundation. While others see weakness, he sees a warrior in training. While others see your end, he sees your rebirth. Sometimes the author will let your story fall apart so that he can rebuild it his way. He will let the wrong chapters close so that the right ones can open. You may not understand the process now, but later you will see that every broken line led to beauty. Every painful scene carried purpose. Every unanswered prayer was leading you to something better. When you go through the valley, remember, it is not the final chapter. The valley is where the author proves his power. The shadow is where he prepares the sunrise. Your pain is the ink he uses to write the next miracle. People may judge you by what they see now, but they do not know the author's plan. They see your scars, but they do not know your script. They see your fall, but they do not know your resurrection. You must stop living by what they say and start believing what God is writing. Your resurrection may not look like you expect. Sometimes it is not about coming back to where you were. It is about rising into something completely new. The author does not restore you to your old state. He rewrites you into a greater version. What you lost was never meant to limit you. It was meant to launch you. My brother, my sister, if only you could see the pages that are still being written. There are blessings you have not yet touched, doors you have not yet walked through, and victories you have not yet imagined. Your story is still alive. You are still under construction. You are still being formed in the hands of the Master. Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. The author writes differently for each of his children. Some stories take longer to unfold because they carry greater glory. Some journeys require deeper valleys because the mountain ahead is higher. You may feel delayed, but delay is not denial. You may feel hidden, but hiding is not rejection. The author hides what he values until the time of revealing. Just because your story is not public yet does not mean it is not powerful. Some of the greatest chapters are written in secret. Your life is not a mistake. Every detail has been carefully written. Even the pain you wish you could erase is being used to shape the message you will carry. The same tears blurred your vision will one day become the ink that writes your testimony. You cannot edit your own story better than the author can. Trust his timing, trust his process, trust his pen. You may not understand every turn, but he does. He knows where the breakthrough will come. He knows how the resurrection will unfold. When the time is right, the author will reveal what he has been writing all along. The doors that were shut will open effortlessly. The relationships that ended will make sense. The wounds that once hurt will become wisdom that heals others. Your story carries resurrection power. You will rise from what broke you. You will stand where you once fell. You will laugh where you once cried. The same place that saw your pain will witness your rising. The same people who pitied you will stand in awe. You are not in the hands of fate. You are in the hands of the author. His pen does not tremble. His words do not fail. His promise does not fade. What he started, he will finish. What he spoke, he will bring to pass. You may have turned the page with trembling hands, afraid of what comes next. But the next chapter is filled with grace, with power, with beauty. The things that tried to destroy you are now serving your destiny. The enemies that fought you are becoming background characters in your victory scene. Your story is not random, it is intentional. Every season, every test, every silence has a purpose. You may not see the full picture, but the author sees it all. He knows the ending, and the ending is glory. Keep reading, my brother. Keep walking, my sister. The author is still writing. The ink of mercy is still flowing. The story is not finished. The pen is still in his hand. The same hand that carried you through the storm is writing your resurrection even now. My brother, my sister, hear me. The same storm that tried to drown you will announce your strength. The same wave that rose to destroy you will carry you to your destiny. The same wind that blew against you will become the wind that lifts you higher. You see, many of us are praying for the storm to stop, but God is using the storm to show who you are. He is using the storm to reveal what He placed inside you. Without the storm, you would never know the depth of your faith. Without the storm, you would never see the power that has been sleeping inside your spirit. When the storm rises, fear begins to speak. It says, "You are finished. You will not survive this. You cannot make it." But faith whispers, "Be still. You are stronger than this. You will rise above this. You are not going under. You are going over. The storm is not your enemy. The storm is your stage." God does not allow storms to sink His children. He allows storms to showcase His strength in them. You may not like it. You may not understand it. But one day, you will thank God for the wind that forced you to grow wings. The same storm that looked like destruction will become the instrument of revelation. The same storm that brought fear will birth faith. The same storm that made you cry will make you rise. Because storms are not sent to drown you. They are sent to train you. They are classrooms of faith. And every thunder is a teacher. Every wave that hits you is shaping your endurance. Every gust of wind is preparing your next level. Listen to me. No one becomes strong in calm waters. Calm waters do not produce captains. Storms do. You learn who you really are when the boat is shaking. You discover what you truly believe when the wind starts to roll. Anybody can have faith when the sun is shining, but only true warriors stand firm when the storm rages. It is in the storm that God separates the spectators from the survivors. It is in the storm the destiny is proven. When the storm came against you, it was not sent to end you, it was sent to expose what could no longer stay hidden. You see, many of us pray for power, but we don't realize that power is revealed through pressure. We pray for strength, but strength is born in struggle. We ask for testimony, but testimony is born in trial. Without pressure, there is no progress. Without opposition, there is no revelation. Some of you have been through storms that no one else understands. You smiled while your heart was breaking. You stood when you wanted to fall. You encouraged others while you were crying inside. People saw your calm face, but they never saw your battle. But hear me, you did not survive that storm by accident. You survived because there is power inside you that the storm could not break. You survived because heaven had already declared, this one will rise. The waves hit you, but you refused to sink. The winds blew, but you refused to bend. You lost things, you lost people, but you did not lose yourself. That is strength. Not the strength that shouts, but the strength that endures. The strength that says, even if I fall, I will rise again. The strength that keeps believing when everything says, give up. That strength did not come from you. It came from the one who walked on water. The storm is not greater than the one inside you. The storm may be loud, but his voice is louder. The waves may be strong, but his hand is stronger. When the disciples were caught in the storm, they panicked. The wind howled, the water filled the boat, and fear whispered, you will drown. But then the master stood and spoke, peace, be still. The same wind that tried to destroy them became silent before his word. The same storm that made them tremble became the moment they discovered who he was. Without the storm, they would never have known his power. Your storm is about to reveal your power. The situation that scared you will become your testimony. The pain that broke you will become your platform. The night that seemed endless will announce your dawn. Because storms are not designed to bury you. They are designed to build you. You are stronger than you think. Sometimes God allows the storm to come not to test your weakness, but to show you your hidden strength. You thought you could not survive that betrayal, but you did. You thought you could not live after that loss, but you did. You thought that heartbreak would destroy you, but look at you. You are still standing. That is not weakness. That is strength. That is grace. That is victory. The same people who thought you were finished will soon ask how you made it through. They saw the storm, but they will not understand the strength. They saw the lightning, but they did not see the light inside you, because storms reveal who is truly anchored. When the storm comes, everything that is fake is exposed, and everything that is real remains. You are still standing because your foundation is not built on sand. It is built on the rock. The storm tried to break your peace, but it taught you how to pray. The storm tried to crush your spirit, but it awakened your purpose. The storm tried to silence your voice, but it made your voice louder. Every wave that came against you was secretly working for you. Every attack was a rehearsal for your announcement. Every breakdown was a setup for your breakthrough. You see, the storm cannot drown what God has destined to rise. The storm cannot destroy what grace has protected. The storm cannot cancel what heaven has written. When the enemy planned to drown you, he did not know that you were a seed. You cannot drown a seed. It grows in the soil of pressure. The deeper you go, the stronger you rise. Some of you feel like everything around you is crashing. But I tell you, the storm is not killing you, it is carrying you. It is pushing you to the shore of your next season. You prayed for transformation, and God sent the storm to remove what was holding you back. You prayed for elevation, and the wind came to lift you higher. What looks like chaos is actually divine construction. The storm may have scattered your plans, but it did not scatter your purpose. It may have broken your routine, but it cannot break your destiny. It may have shaken your faith, but it could not take your foundation. You are still anchored. You are still breathing. You are still standing. That means you still have power. When the storm rises, don't curse it. Command it. Speak to your storm with authority. Tell it, you will not drown me. You will define me. You will reveal me. The storm only has power when you forget who you are. You are not a victim of the wind. You are a child of the one who commands the wind. The storm will end, but what it leaves behind will be strength, maturity, and wisdom. When the clouds clear, you will look back and realize you were never in danger. You were in training. The storm was your gym. It built muscles that peace could not. It taught lessons that comfort never could. It gave you faith that no book could teach. My brother, my sister, when people see you standing strong after all you've been through, they will not understand. They will see the brightness, but they won't know the battle. They will see your peace, but they won't know your past. They will call it luck, but you will know it was the storm that announced your strength. Every champion has weathered a storm. Every leader has cried in private. Every giant killer has faced giants that mock their faith. It's the storm that separates the strong from the shallow. If you can worship in the wind, you can rule in the calm. If you can praise in the storm, you can stand in the palace. The storm was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to display you. You are not defined by what happened to you. You are defined by how you responded. You could have drowned in self-pity, but you chose faith. You could have surrendered to fear, but you chose prayer. You could have given up, but you stood firm. That is strength, silent, unshaken, divine strength. When the next storm comes, and it will come, remember what you've already survived. The last storm did not destroy you, it developed you. The last storm did not break you, it built you. The last storm did not drown you, it taught you how to swim. Now you are unshakable. The same storm that used to scare you will now serve you. Storms don't last forever, but the strength they produce does. Every wave that hit you left wisdom. Every wind that blew against you left resilience. Every dark cloud taught you how to see light. You came out stronger, wiser, deeper. You learned that peace is not the absence of storms. It is the presence of strength within them. So when the waves rise again, stand tall. Do not fear them. Welcome them. Speak to them. Let them know who you are. You are not the same person who entered the storm. You are the one who learned how to walk on water. You are the one who realized that storms cannot drown those who know how to stand in faith. Your greatest strength will not come from calm days. It will come from stormy nights. The same wind that tried to uproot you is the wind that deepened your roots. The same pressure that tried to crush you produced your oil. The same storm that tried to drown you is the storm that introduced you to your power. You are proof that survival is possible. You are evidence that storms bow to faith. You are testimony that no matter how hard it rains, grace still reigns. The storm was loud, but your strength spoke louder. So now, when the world looks at you, they see someone who has been through fire and water, but came out alive. They see someone who faced storms and still smiled. They see someone who was supposed to drown, but instead learned how to soar. That is the mark of divine strength. The next time the storm rises, don't ask, why me? Ask, what are you teaching me? Don't ask for the wind to stop. Ask for the wisdom to stand. Don't beg for the waves to cease. Ask for the courage to walk above them. Because when you know who you are, the storm becomes your servant. It becomes the trumpet that announces your arrival. The same storm that made others give up will make you great. The same waves that swallowed others will lift you higher. The same wind that tried to blow you away will push you into destiny. You will not drown in what others drowned in, because you have been strengthened by grace. Every trial has been preparing you for this truth. You are stronger than the storm. You carry authority greater than the wind. The storm only comes to test what you already possess. When you stand firm, the storm bows. When you keep faith, the waves calm. When you trust in the one who sent you, the storm becomes the sound of your announcement. You survived not because you ran from the storm, but because you faced it. You survived not because you were lucky, but because you were chosen. The storm came to find weakness and discovered strength. It came to break you and found unbreakable faith. It came to bury you and found resurrection power. So now, walk with your head high. You are no longer afraid of storms. You are a storm survivor. You are a storm speaker. You are a storm conqueror. When the winds rise again, smile, because you already know the outcome. The same storm that tried to drown you will announce your strength.